It was good. It actually felt like the weather was appropriate today. I don't know how it is in Houston, but it felt pretty good. I think it felt a little bit. It was like 50 something this morning, and then but I think it's supposed to be like the same tomorrow, but like after that, it's supposed to like jump right back up to the 80s, which is unfortunate. But I mean, I'll take it the good weather we do get
Yeah, and
when it happens.
I don't think my microphone was working when I introduced us, so I
Oh,
apologize for that. That's a little awkward. But I digress. I'll get this working. We have an episode for you today. We got the Monday Night Football recap, and we got some
yeah.
news that came out of both of those teams in Monday Night Football. So
Oh yeah, we did.
yeah, so we'll talk about that. We'll get into Christian's five rankings. We'll talk about my best bets, and then we'll get you out of here with our Week 7 predictions. So, Christian, I'm going to fidget with my microphone. I'll let you tee us off on Monday Night Football. Give us your thoughts. Bills beat the Jets 23-20. Yeah, what was your takeaway from that game?
Awful. It
Yeah.
was really bad. What was it? We almost had like 300 yards of penalties. It was over 200 yards of penalties by committed by both teams. There was not great calls here and there. I hate to blame the refs, but Aaron Rodgers got a. I mean, even if like if me and Aaron Rodgers are agreeing on something, there's something wrong. Like there was a just a terrible roughing the passer call because apparently you can't put your body weight on the quarterback. But like at the replay, it looked like he had stuck his hand out to try. Uh, yeah, that was terrible. Um, it was not a very great game. Aaron Rodgers throws a pick to Mike Williams, second game in a row, and immediately throws him under the bus. And the very next day, they trade for Davante Adams. And I think they have or they're about to trade Mike Williams away. So, uh, yeah, it's crazy because Jake, I remember coming into the season, people were telling me Mike Williams is supposed to say this organization. What's going on here?
Yeah, I will. I'll give Mike Williams the benefit of the doubt a little bit. Like, I feel like the biggest hangup with Mike Williams has obviously been his injury history.
Yeah, like he's
But
not a bad receiver.
he's
I
just
don't
not
know what's
gelling
going
with
on
Aaron
there.
Rodgers. Yeah, I mean, Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to throw to him. Aaron Rodgers wants to throw to Garrett Wilson. He wants to throw to Alan Lazard. He wants to throw to
His
Brees
boys.
Hall. I mean that's who he. I saw a joke. It was like this Justin Jordy Nelson signed by
Dude,
the New York Jets.
he would like Aaron would be elated. So yeah. Does this move the needle for you for the Jets getting Devonte Adams? It doesn't for me, obviously, as I am the Jets hater of this podcast. I think it makes them slightly better, but I mean, I think I saw on Twitter they scored the same amount of points in these 6 weeks this year and compared to last year. The same amount of points with Zach when they had the worst quarterbacking in NFL or from in the
Yeah,
league
in one
last
of them.
year
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
with Zach Wilson and Mike White and whatever. Same amount of points.
I I think I'm actually a little more optimistic about this. Look, I think this team just. I mean, I think I had this team going 8-9 this year. This feels like that's
This was
kind
a
of where
rough
this
part of
team
their
is.
schedule,
Yeah,
I will say.
and it's going to get a little easier for them when you look at their schedule. Kind of, they're hitting that what you would call a soft middle, right? Like they got the
Yeah,
Steelers
they
this
do.
week. That's tough. Patriots the next week. You got the Texans, but then you get the Cardinals, Colts, the Seahawks, the Dolphins. Maybe the
Yeah.
Dolphins are better by then. You get the Jaguars, like you know that kind of feels like some winnable get back games. I think it's very possible this team could be like 6-6 in the next however many weeks that is, 6 weeks or so. So I mean, I haven't lost all hope on them. I mean, obviously, like I don't think they'll make the playoffs. I think the AFC is just continuously too stacked for them to make the playoffs. I don't think they're good enough. I like Davante Adams coming in as far as just another weapon. You know what it's going to do is it's going to allow Garrett Wilson to get bumped down to being a 2, which I think that would be pretty good for Garrett Wilson. And I mean, it'll take attention off of Garrett Wilson. I think Garrett Wilson will get more clean looks. I also think just having somebody like Davante Adams in the building is great for young receivers generally.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to bump Alan Lazard to your third option. Maybe Alan Lazard becomes your second option and Garrett Wilson becomes your third. I don't know what Aaron Rodgers wants to do with that. But, you know, I think having Davante Adams on the outside, it could also open up the run game a little bit. You're able to, you know, you can stack the box a little bit against this team and just say, we'll just, you know, stop the run and worry about coverage back there. Now you have to dedicate resources to stopping Davante Adams. So I think it opens up a little bit. But, like, you know, Davante Adams isn't going to make this kicker, Greg Zuerlein, any better. You know, he's not going to fix the dumb penalties that this team keeps getting. You know, I know they fired Robert Saleh to fix that issue, and it's clearly not working. So at least not through one game. You know, I was listening to somebody, I can't remember who it was, but I think it was John Middlecoff. I can't remember, but he talked about how, like, I mean, they fired Robert Saleh to win this game. That they did that to beat the Bills on Monday, and they lost. And now they're 2-4. Good news is their division is not great, so they're 2 games behind the Bills now, and you still get to play them one more time. But you know, I mean, I guess the last thing I'll say is, to be honest, I just didn't feel like they were even in this game that much. Like, I think the second half, they won in the second half. Had it not been for those missed field goals, they would have been in it. But
it would have been in it. But like that Hail Mary,
it was
really
a 20-10
them.
game at halftime.
Yeah,
and
that Hail Mary saved them and kept them in that game. And yeah, I think they won the second half. But I think Buffalo missed some field goals.
Tyler Bass missed a field goal. Yeah.
So like, I think if everybody makes their field goals and stuff, I think the Bills still technically win if the game plays out.
I think it would have been like 26-all or something, which maybe we go to overtime. I don't know, but it doesn't matter. Like, this, could you make an argument that this team feels more like a 3-3 team than a 2-4 team? Maybe, but like, this is about where this team is supposed to be. Like, this team has not played well enough to be a 4-2 team this year. They don't feel like that. They'd be one of the more fraudulent 4-2 teams. So yeah, I like the Davante Adams move, but I think it'll fix some of their problems, but I don't think it masks everything. And I just don't think Aaron Rodgers is. I just don't think he's that good anymore.
He ain't that good.
As for the Bills,
yeah.
I guess really quick, just, you know, nice for Buffalo to kind of stop the bleeding. They'd lost 2 straight.
Yeah.
You go on the road in prime time against a team that Josh Allen has struggled against a lot in his career. Good defense, and they get a tough, gritty win. A lot of fighting in this game. Obviously, the penalties you hit on were just atrocious. I mean, it was a terrible game to watch. Yeah, I mean, good for Buffalo, good for the Bills. They get to go play the Titans next week, so you think that's probably a get-right game for them as well. So, you know, very well could be 5-2 this time next week.
And then they traded for Amari Cooper,
Yep.
and which I think that does help them a lot. I mean, they're doing okay, but it's still what we've been complaining about the Bills, like since Josh Allen's got there. It's kind of like, you know, Josh needs you to be, you know, Superman all the time. This at least helps them to, you know, like with the Davante Adams, they get a veteran receiver. He's proven, you know, you can't just sit there and let him cook, because he will if you let him. So they got all these young guys and a receiver. Amari Cooper, solid, been there, done that. In the locker room, kind of leads by example, because he doesn't really, not very vocal. And we see when he Josh Allen got a top 1 receiver. I don't know where we put Amari Cooper now, but when we see he got a receiver, a very good one in Stephon Diggs, you know, that elevated his career. This will help them a plenty, especially with the offense.
No, I agree with a lot of what you said. I think you have Keon Coleman, who is a rookie.
Rookie,
You
yeah.
have Khalil Shakir in their slot. You bring Amari Cooper in. I think it has a similar effect where it kind of balances out everybody's role. You don't have a rookie in Keon Coleman having to be the number one receiver option. Now, I know they have Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid and even James Cook in the backfield. I feel like, it's kind of one of those moves where it's like, I like your weapons, but you kind of have a number two acting as a number one on the
Yeah.
outside and a number three acting as a number two. Now it realigns everything. And Amari Cooper, I don't know how good of a number one Amari Cooper is anymore. I mean, he's an older player at this point. Again, similar to Davante Adams, I think having a veteran presence will be good. But what I love is, because I loved what the Bills did this offseason, kind of scrapping so much of their roster and their high paid players, and it almost kind of reset their salary cap a little bit, and they got some draft capital in return. They had to give up a third round pick this upcoming year and a seventh round pick in 26 to make this happen. And all it's going to cost them this year is $800,000 against their cap. So it's not like you're trading a lot of that capital that you spent or that you gained, and it's not like you're having to pay him a lot of money. So kind of gets the best of both worlds, where they can still kind of continue that reset that it felt like they were doing, but at the same time get some more talent to really get competitive this year. Above all else, the best thing this does for them, it keeps Amari Cooper away from the Chiefs.
Yeah. Yeah, which for a third, which I'm surprised the Chiefs didn't want to do that. Like, I'm surprised a lot of teams were like in the sweepstakes to get Amari Cooper. I mean, it's still on the board. I think D Hop could still be out there. Who else is like a top flight receiver that could be traded? I know it's D Hop. Everybody else I think is pretty much settled. I know people want the Tyreek Hill to be traded. I don't think Miami's gonna pull the trigger. But it'd be something.
T Higgins is another
T.
one.
Well, he's franchise tag. Can you trade a franchise tag, please?
Yeah, tag and trade. That's a thing you can do.
Oh, okay.
Tag and trade.
I don't know. I think the Bengals need to hold on to T Higgins this year. I don't. Yeah, you're not trading him this year.
Maybe they get Mike Williams from the Jets.
You could. I don't know. I don't like that trade. Mike Williams for T Higgins. I think Mike Williams is a good receiver, but
Mike Williams to the Chiefs though.
Oh.
Yeah, like
yeah. I don't hate that.
Deontay Johnson, maybe, like
it's just the injury history really with Mike Williams.
Yeah, for sure. You never know. But anyway, that is basically the rest of week 6. We recorded on Monday when that game was going on. Kind of hilarious that the two Monday Night Football teams were the two teams that made headlines the next day. Kind of a tit for tat. Like, oh, you got Davante Adams? We got Amari Cooper. So that was kind of fun.
And with the Bills winning, that concluded the perfect week.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad you brought that up. I did want to highlight. Christian, you went 14-0 in your picks. This never happened on our podcast.
Yeah, like when I'm picking these games, like I'm like, oh, I think this could happen. I'm never like for certain, like 100%. No, this is what's happening. It was funny. I was telling my buddy about it, and he was like, "Did you bet on this?" And I'm like, "I wouldn't have put money on all of these games to come right."
14-leg parlay. My dad does that sometimes.
I mean, I would have hit if I would have added the Falcons -6 and like picked all the other like just straight up games. I mean, I probably could have made a decent amount of money, but I'm not a gambler.
What you would have made on that? If you go the money line for all of those, I don't know. You probably would have made a lot of money on like just a $20 bet.
Yeah, but I'm not a gambler. I mean, maybe one day I'll download DraftKings or whatever and
they also need to make it legal in Texas.
Ah.
Yeah.
But yeah, how did you do?
I went 11-3 just in straight up picks for our predictions for bets, which we'll talk about in a little bit, I ended up at 2-2 in a push.
Damn.
So yeah, it's not. I mean, it's fine. Like it's. We can talk about it when we get into the bets, but
Sorry.
I should have the push. I was on the right side of. I just did not send the best bets. Like I didn't submit them to like the YouTube page on time. By the time I had, the line had already moved, and it was at 6.5, and it moved to 7. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. But anyway, our next topic, our next thing we're going to get into, we're going to talk about the vibe rankings from Christian. Now, y'all should be aware that Christian does not really do the vibes rankings. He doesn't pick them. The vibes tell him who to pick. He blacks out, wakes up, and he's got a list. So, pretty exciting stuff. Exciting to see what the vibes did this week. Pretty interesting week. It feels like we're really starting to get some separation in a lot of the good teams and a lot of the bad teams. So, I will go ahead and... Oh, this is from last week. I will go ahead and bring it in, Christian, and you can get us started. So, if you want to just start, I'm bringing it in now.
All right, cool. Starting from the bottom, as we do here, we have the Travis Hunter sweepstakes. Because I think he will be the number one overall. I think he's in a lot of mock drafts. He's the number one overall pick. Could play both ways. I don't think he can do that in the NFL. Maybe like some packages, but I think corner will be probably his mainstay. And yeah, you maybe because he's a playmaker, he's a baller. Maybe throw him in there here and there on as a receiver. I think he'll be a good, nice threat. So, and with that, I got the Titans, Browns, Panthers. All these teams, not very good. Titans, they got a Will Levis problem. Browns, they got a Deshaun Watson problem, and Kevin Stefanski just can't just it just wants to cry in every press conference, like, no, this is our guy, I swear. And then the Panthers are just the Panthers, not a very good team.
Prime rebuild candidate if you want to get in a Med in 25.
Yeah, these are all very good teams, especially this next one. So just above them, the Travis Hunter sweepstakes. I got the next headline. There's just one team. It's the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now this is pending on if they lose to New England on Sunday, Sunday morning in London. Um, you can't go. You can't go what 1-6, 0-2 in London, and Doug Peterson. Like I think even Doug Peterson said himself, either yesterday
change.
they need a culture change. So hey, bro, we're not trading Trevor because Trevor just got his bag. So Trevor's gonna be there for at least 2 or 3 more years before he loses his job.
It really does seem like he's almost advocating for himself to get fired. He's like, fire me, please. Just get me out of here. Like,
so the next one, it'll be Dougie P. So
and on that note, if they lose again in London again, they will have lost back-to-back weeks in London to rookie quarterbacks.
God, yeah.
And one of them being the 1-5 Patriots.
So yeah, that will definitely get you fired. All right, just above them, just another one-team tier right here. Could be interesting, and it's just the Patriots. Drake May, I saw some good, I saw some bad, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. The offensive line is not very good. They are playing the Jags. Jags defense isn't very good. I mean, the Patriots defense is at least a competent unit, and we'll see what Drake May can do in his second start in London. That's going to be very interesting. Playing international, so it should be. Hopefully, they get the win there. Next up, I got the ball up top. Just 3 teams here. We got the Giants, Raiders, Rams. Rams are coming off a bye, getting a little bit healthier week after week. So we'll see if they can climb out of their 1-4 hole right here. They are playing they're playing a team they can beat, the Raiders, who are 2-4. So, get back in the win column here and just start building upon that because they need it in that division. The Raiders, I don't know what the Raiders are. I just don't know what this team is. I like they got good players here and there, but who's starting? Who's starting this week for the Raiders? Is it Aiden O'Connell again?
I think it is. Yeah, I haven't heard anything about who is starting. I can look it up really quick.
Yeah, and then the Giants.
Yeah, I mean, by all accounts, from what I'm seeing, it is Kevin O'Connell or Aiden O'Connell.
Aiden O'Connell. Okay. Yeah, and then the Giants are here just because they're the Giants. Hurts to watch. Up next, just the Dolphins and the Jets. I was spared this past weekend for not having to watch Miami Dolphins football. They are back, and we are playing the Colts on the road. See how that one goes. And then the Jets. I'm a Jets hater. It is what it is. Yeah, hurts to watch. Then up next, we had the feisty teams. Pretty feisty. Cardinals. Maybe should move down it here, honestly. I just don't know what's doing.
Feisty. I don't know if they're feisty.
I mean, dude. They play well. Like we just had the bad play, so maybe this week we get the good play.
They're playing the Chargers at home. I mean, it's possible, but that's a tough matchup. The Chargers are just
they are in prime time. Yeah, they are in prime time, so it is going to be interesting to see. Colts, Joe Flacco, he still got that juice. He still got that juice in him. Steelers, I think top 5 number 1 defense for like top 3, top 5 defenses. So they're doing their. Oh, I did see Russell Wilson starting. Apparently his calf is healed, so that's going to be very, very interesting to see on Sunday. They have who are they playing?
The Jets. They're playing Sunday Night Football.
Sunday night. That's the Sunday night game. Okay. Yeah. So let's see how interesting that is. But yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
then the Broncos.
I'm sorry. I hate.
No, that's a terrible Sunday night.
Justin Fields, but. I mean, dude, Russell Wilson. Justin Fields has not been bad this year. Russell Wilson's
been great.
Games. Russell Wilson gonna lose you games.
Yeah, especially if he plays like he did in Denver last year, where he was playing okay, but like his stats were good, but like he wasn't, like taking risk and like trying to win the games. It felt like more he was, trying to protect his stats and stuff like that.
Sean Payton walked in after a year and went, "I can't save this. You need to move. You need to get rid of him. But coach, it's going to cost us. I don't care. You need to get rid of him.
Get him out of here."
Like, he accepted that job because he's like, I can fix Russell Wilson.
And they was talking mad shit coming into the season.
I coached Drew Brees when he was older. Teddy Bridgewater won me a few games. I was winning games
with
Taysom Hill. I can move Russell Wilson after a year. He was like, get him out. That just tells you how bad it was.
Speaking of, so the Broncos are here as well. They're feisty, I guess. They're just like the Cardinals, just too up and down. And then the Saints, really surprised they could get this deal done with for Davante Adams. I mean, both the Jets and the Saints really needed him, but I'm surprised the Saints couldn't get it done. Or go get Amari Cooper for a 3rd round and a 7th rounder. What are we doing here? Like, you could have easily made that decision. So, but yeah, he are. So rooting for Spencer Rattler at least. Just above them, I got the bad. These teams are just bad, and it's just 2 teams. And Jake, you probably know who these teams are. It's the Eagles and the Cowboys. These teams are bad. I'm sorry.
I need to say, yeah. They belong together in the same tier. They're the same tier of team. They're just not good.
I mean, the Cowboys did lose to the Saints, but this is a different Saints team, and the Cowboys are just the Cowboys. And then the Eagles, Nick Sirianni's probably getting fired. How'd you feel about Jerry yelling at one of
Dude,
his?
that was embarrassing.
That
That was
is.
so embarrassing. I'll find somebody else to ask me these questions. And then Diana Rossini at the owners meeting later that day, he's just like, I I just the idea that somebody who I'm paying is asking me that is crazy. Like maybe if it was a fan, he's like, but I'm paying them. Like, and it's like, I mean, you're basically trying to lay down this hammer of like, you better fall in line and kind of just promote the team the way I want you to promote the team because I'm paying you to
What
do
is there
that.
to promote, Jerry?
It's
You're
all bad.
3-3,
But
and you've been blown out in your 3 home games.
I'll
Well,
say
the Ravens,
this
yeah, whatever.
about the Eagles and the Cowboys. Like, I do think both these teams are on even footing, and I think it's a total toss up who's going to win when they play each other. The vibes in Dallas are worse right now than they're bad in Philly. Like the whole Nick Sirianni thing, this offense, as Lane Johnson called it a little while ago, being constipated. You know, they just don't have good spacing on the. I mean, like the celebration out of Philly camp is like, what do you want from Jalen Hurts? He didn't even turn the ball over this week. Like that's how far we have fallen.
He didn't
Is
turn the
that
ball over.
he finally didn't turn it over? What do you want from him? And it's like, yeah, okay, I guess you got me there. You know, so yeah, it's all bad with both these teams. Neither of these teams deserve anything but vitriol from their fan bases.
All right. Next above them, I got the don't love them, but I don't hate them.
Mm.
I don't love them, but I don't hate them either. Seattle, the Chargers, Bills, Bengals. You know, Bengals. They're. I need them to pick it up. You know, it wasn't great that Sunday night game. I know they ended up winning, and
Awful game.
bored by 2 possessions technically, but that game wasn't. This was like one of the highest scoring offenses in the league, and they kind of got not embarrassed, but they got it took it to them a little bit, and but you know they got in the win column. They're playing the Browns team, which they struggle with, so this could really set their season back if they ended up losing this game. But we'll see. I still
The
got
Browns have
hope.
the same record.
I still got faith in Joe Burrow. He's playing good, but you know they're at a must win right here. Bills, I know they won. It wasn't pretty. The Amari Cooper news should help their team a little bit. Defensively, I think they play pretty sound. So, yeah, I think the Bills should be moving up here. I think they got a not a bad team they're going up against. They should get another win there. So, bye.
Hosting the Titans.
Hosting the Titans, so they should whoop ass there. Chargers, yeah, Justin Herbert's doing fine. I think he's healthier. J.K. Dobbins still running pretty well. Really solid defense. Seattle, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
3 straight losses.
I wish Seattle. Come on, Seattle. Y'all were supposed to be about like 7th, 8th seed. Y'all were supposed. I was like, no, this team's gonna definitely make it, and you're letting me down here. Then I got to like them. I like them. I
Don't
like
love them,
them.
but I like them.
I don't love them, but I like them. It's the Falcons, the Bears, the Buccaneers, and San Fran. San Fran, it hurts my heart. San Fran hurts my heart. To put you here, it does. It really does. It
They
does.
won't climb.
They don't climb. They're not too. They're not too far from the top. Yeah, Falcons, not bad. Yeah, like them. Caleb Williams, the Bears. You know they have been on that winning streak. Caleb has been getting better and better each week. He has been playing bad defenses. Just to be fair, they've been bad defenses. He is on a bye week, so they get to sit and be pretty. But 4-2 going in your bye with rookie quarterback, should be feeling great. Buccaneers, I like Bucks. They're pretty good. Put it on the Saints, 50 points. Baker playing good.
Baker's got 15 touchdowns this year. He's leading the league.
Yeah, so vibes should be. They do have a tough Monday night game against the Ravens. Good luck to you there. And then San Fran, like I said, San Fran, I want you to put you higher. I just can't right now. You're 3-3. You're about to play the Chiefs.
Hell.
Yeah,
And
even
then
though
you
you're
got the
favorite.
Cowboys.
And then they got the Cowboys. So like you're not gonna get blown out by the Chiefs. Because the Chiefs don't blow anybody out. But then you got then the very next week, you get to blow out the Cowboys. So, keep your head up. And then
What if the Cowboys beat them? That's gonna
I'd
scramble
be
the brains of
I'd be
everybody.
so
Who's gonna-
livid.
What?
I'd be so pissed if they lose.
I'll be happy. That'd be
I mean, of course you'd be happy, but I'd be like, this is what you were supposed to beat this team. Anyway, moving on to the feeling good. Feeling real good about these teams. We got the Commanders, the Ravens, the Texans, the Lions, and the Packers. Lions, Packers. God, that's crazy, man. Like you said, the stat, the Lions, Packers, Vikings,
Bears.
and the Bears.
Yeah.
They all four are top four in point differential.
Top 1, 2, 3.
Never seen that. Best division in the league. The fourth place Bears are 4-2. Just
Yeah,
let
the
that sink
Packers and
in.
the Bears are tied at 4-2 right now.
Let that sink in. Like the last place Chicago Bears are 4-2 and are last in their division.
And one of these teams is gonna get the boot.
And yeah,
it's almost very unlikely that all three of the this division is going to send all four of these teams to the playoffs. It's possible. It could because you have 3 wild card spots. So you have the division winner and 3 wild card spots. But
man, that's insane.
Again, I mean, the Bucks,
those tiebreakers. Yeah, those tiebreakers.
Only one of those teams are going. If the Rams or the Seahawks pick it up, the Niners and one of those teams would not get it would be one team out of the rest of it. Now the East. You could just send the Commanders, and I think everybody would be like, yeah, that's clearly what's supposed to happen. It'd be wild. I mean,
all 4 teams making the
I'm kind of rooting
the playoffs. That'd be insane. I mean, I would love to see that. That sounds really fun. And then top tier, we got the Chiefs and the Vikings. Both had a bye. Only 2 undefeated teams. I think Kansas City. You know what they are, and then Minnesota. I think this is going to be let's say a prove it game, but it's going to be interesting to see how they will look because they're playing the Lions, so it is going to be at home, only favored by 2 points. So it's going to be interesting to see if how they look now that they're top dog, they're 5-0. Lions coming in, they're feeling good. They're 4-1. They're feeling very good, so it's going to be interesting to see. So this is going to be a very big game for Minnesota to silence the doubters a little bit, and the Lions not silencing the doubters, but continuing that no, we should be the top dogs in this division and in the NFC. So we got a good game, good game, and that's the tiers. That's it. I'm done.
I like them. I like almost all of it. The big change I would make is I would probably switch the Saints and the Rams. I haven't given up on the Rams. I still think they're feisty. I think they're going to win this week against the Raiders. And I think it's
their get right. They need to climb. They need to start. They need to win some games.
And I think that puts them on the right track. The Saints. I mean, if they lose tomorrow, they're going to have lost 5 straight.
No.
Yeah, they'll be 2-5.
Yeah, because they were 2-0. Yeah.
And I just, I overreacted a little bit to the first 2 games of the year.
I think we all did. I think we all did.
It's crazy good, and this defense is always pretty solid. And then it's just been bad. Their line has been hurt and banged up. Derek Carr then got hurt and banged up, and you're starting to see the Saints kind of be what I think everybody. All of a sudden that I'm not saying it'll happen, but all of a sudden that Saints being a 4-win team this year, that pick is alive again. I don't think it'll happen, but if they win 6 games this year, I don't think anybody be surprised. The Rams, I still have faith in them. They do have a bit of a tough sledding coming ahead, but can they can they rattle off a win streak and get to 8 or 9 wins? I think it's possible. So, everything else though, I do dig. I might even consider putting the Lions up there in that top tier. I know the loss of Aiden Hutchinson is kind of giving everybody pause, but I
was
really
rough.
just like the Lions. I really like them a lot.
I do too.
So, all right, that was a good one, Christian. I enjoyed that.
Appreciate it, man.
All right. Well, we can get back to, I guess, our next segment, which is Jake's Bets. All right. So, let's talk about last week. We already talked a little bit about it on Monday. It went 2-2 and a push. The ones I got right, Lions minus 3.5 against the Cowboys. Came on the podcast, said that's going to be a blowout. It's going to be a blowout. Book it. And all these pros, all the pros came out and they overthought the room and they went, well, the Cowboys. And it's like, you're not giving any good reasons for why the Cowboys are going to keep this game close. The Lions are going to destroy this team, and they did. So that was a lot. Bengals minus 3.5 against the Giants. Scary, tough one. Didn't feel great about that for most of that game, but the Bengals pulled it out, and they won, and they covered, so we'll love it. Patriots were one I missed. Getting into the ones I missed. I had the Patriots plus 6.5. Tough. Just a bad bet. I knew the risk of betting a rookie quarterback in their first game against a good defense.
But I think you thought Houston would struggle a little bit more because they were on the road. But,
yeah, I mean the Texans were they were going into this game, I think, 1-4 against the spread. Like, they had not, they win a lot of their games, but they had just had their first cover against the Bills. And so they were 0-4 to start the season. And they haven't been great on the road. You're getting a Patriots team that's getting a juice at quarterback because they're starting a new guy. They're getting a touchdown at home. I liked it. All of the pros I trust loved it. So that just told me, let's do it. But, I mean, they got blown out. They were never really in it. There was a couple times where it was like they could be in it in terms of covering, and every time they got to that point, one time it was 27-14 and they got to stop and they had the ball, and I'm like, if they score here, they're covering. 21-27, that's covering. And then 2 plays later, very next play, they throw an interception, and it was just constantly working against that cushion that they could not seem to. They'd get close, but not close enough. So that was a miss. I still like the value, but it was the wrong bet. They got blown out. And then the other one, this one's heartbreaking. I had the Jets plus 2.5. They lose it by 0.5 point. Jets at home, getting points. You get that dead cat bounce from them firing their head coach. And it felt like at a lot of points, it was in the second half especially, I felt like I was probably going to cover this. And didn't do it. Did not do it. So that is your 2-2. And then the push was the Ravens. I was hinting at it a little bit earlier, but I had the Ravens at minus 6.5 when I originally pitched it last Wednesday. And it was 6.5 all week. And then Sunday or Saturday night when I submitted the bets for YouTube, it was minus 7. And I was like, minus 7. Okay, we'll still do it. I still think it'll probably be a blowout. And that was the exact margin, 23-30. So if I had just been proactive and got the bet in when I was supposed to, the Ravens would have covered it. I'd be 3-2. But instead we get a push, and that means we got to have a makeup bet. So we got to have 6 bets. Now, I'm going to do something I haven't done before. I am going to wait on the makeup bet. I don't want to do it this week. We have time. If this was at the end of the season, we were like week 12, 13, 14, I'd be like, okay, I gotta do it. Got to suck it up. We have plenty of time. I'm not going to force in a bad bet just to make the number. I'll do it up to 5, I guess, because I have had to sometimes. But I'm not going to do it for 6 if I don't have to. So I'm only going to do 5 this week because there's not 6 I like. And, yeah, so we're going to get into it. Now, I gave out a lot of these that I liked on Monday. The good news is I was right about a lot of them. The bad news is, because I was right about a lot of them, all the lines moved against me. So that that Giants pick that I loved at like 4 or 4.5. Yeah, that's +3 now. I don't like that one anymore. Unfortunately, that Rams bet that was like -5, 5.5. Loved it. Yeah, it's like 6.5, 7 now. So I don't love that. That's too many points. So, I loved the Bucks at 4.5. Kind of been up and down on it. 3.5. I don't trust it. So yeah. And then the Titans, I've read a little more on it. The more I want to be on the Titans +9 really bad. But I'm scared. I'm a scared guy. So maybe that'll be one I get in here, but we'll talk about it. So let's go through the ones I like. First off, I like the Packers -2.5 at home against the Texans. I like Lambeau Field. To me is one of the last great home field advantages in the NFL. I really do think there is a home field advantage there. And the Texans, I know they were great last week, coming off a big win on the road.
That was versus the Patriots.
Against the Patriots. Now you're back-to-back road games, and you're not close to home. It's not like they're going to Dallas. They went to Boston, and now they're going to Green Bay. Those are long trips. The Packers are a good team. Packers are a good team. They are firing on all cylinders. They're coming together. I like the Packers to cover at home. If this gets to 3 points before we submit on Friday, I probably would stay away from it and replace it. But under a field goal, I like the home team in the Packers here. I think these are two teams that are probably on even footing. But Texans, 2 back-to-back road games. This just feels like a good spot to fade the Texans a little bit. So I like the Packers here. I had to get talked into this one, but actually, the more I've thought about it, the more I like this. I'm going to take the Seahawks +3 against the Falcons. Seahawks going on the road, so that's a little iffy, but they're on extended rest. Falcons have played at basically everybody close this year. They're very tight in their games.
Okay.
I also think the Seahawks are getting healthier. They're getting healthier on the defensive line. We don't know what's going on with Reek Woolen, so we'll kind of see where that lands. But I think this isn't a great argument, but I find it very hard to believe that the Seahawks are going to lose 4 straight. And if we get to the end of Sunday and the Seahawks are 3-4 and the Falcons are 5-2, it just does not feel like correct to me. This feels like kind of one of those games where the season corrects a margin a little bit almost. I don't know how to describe it. So I like the Seahawks. I like the matchup. They're getting healthier, as I said. And the Falcons, they have a pretty poor pass rush. I think they have the second worst pass rush in the league. And if you can't get pressure on Geno Smith can carve you up. So I like the Seahawks +3 here. I feel like these two teams are pretty even, and I'm getting points with the Seahawks off extended rest. I like it. I'll take the Seahawks. This one is money. This pick is straight money. I'm not saying it's going to cover, but I'm saying you have to bet it when you see it. The Browns +5.5 against the Bengals. Browns at their home underdogs against a division rival that they play really competitively and well against. The Browns are getting healthier on defense. Bengals defense is still pretty iffy. Joe Burrow struggles against the Browns. I'm getting 5.5 points. I'm not saying the Bengals are going to lose, but if this is a 24-20 game, this is a 20-16 game like the Browns just played against the Eagles, are we that surprised? I don't think so. I don't think the Bengals are going to blow this team out. I think they're going to struggle against this defense like they do. I think the Browns will be nuisance and hang around just enough, and I think they'll probably lose a close one to the Bengals. So give me the Browns +5.5. I like that. My fourth pick, Christian. I'm a simple man.
He's simple.
I'm a simple man.
Simple.
I spend too much time on my phone.
Yeah, we all do.
I sing in my car along to the radio.
We all do.
I take meat out of the freezer at night to defrost for dinner the next day.
Yeah.
I do chores on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I bet the Chiefs at under a field goal or as an underdog. I just do it.
You
I
got to.
just do it. The Chiefs plus 1.5 against the 49ers. Everybody, this is where people get silly because they're gonna sit here and try to tell you, no, but this is the spot you bet the Niners. This is the spot you no, don't do it. Just bet the Chiefs. And it's like, well, what if it loses? It's like it doesn't matter. You
The
hit
Chiefs,
this bet 80% of the time. You bet it.
the Chiefs don't blow anybody out.
I mean,
So like, do the Chiefs cover most of the time?
no, but that's
Oh,
because usually when their spreads are huge, they're like -6 or -7.
oh, I felt like recently I know like in the playoffs it was
Well, they were
weird.
underdogs every week
Yeah,
in the play. I mean, not
I
against
don't
the
know.
Dolphins, but against the Bills, they were underdogs. Against the Ravens, they were underdogs. Against the Chiefs, they were underdogs. Or the 49ers, they were underdogs. And it's just like, everybody, all these professional bettors keep telling me, like, but, you got to take the Ravens here. And it's like, why? I have a guy that every time, I bet, when he is an underdog, I bet him every time, and it hits 80% of the time. Why am I trying to thread the needle and try to guess the 20% of the time it's not going to hit? Like, just bet it.
Yeah.
Like, and they might lose this weekend. Like, I'm not saying this is a lock that they're going to win.
Off a
But
bye.
Andy Reid off a bye. Patrick Mahomes is 4-0 against this team. Like, I'm not saying they're gonna cover this. I'm not saying they're gonna win. I'm not telling you that. I'm not locking it as a guarantee. But what I'm saying is you bet this, you make money on it 80% of the time. Just bet it. And you're gonna miss one. Sure, you might miss it this week. You're probably not gonna miss it the next time or the time after that or the time after that. Like, just bet it. Just Chiefs plus 1.5. It's a lock. It's not even. I'll take it at -1.5. This line flips, I'm still gonna be on the Chiefs. Unless I wake up and the Chiefs are -4.5 point favorites, I'm going to be on the Chiefs this week. Like, just take the Chiefs. Just do it. Don't overthink it. Anyway. Yeah. And my fifth one, I really struggled to find a fifth one that I liked. I really want to be on the Steelers because they're home underdogs. We love Mike Tomlin as a home underdog, but I don't love Russell Wilson getting the start against the Jets.
Yeah, that hurt.
And the Steelers, the Jets, say what you will, they are desperate. They are going to be desperate this week.
Yeah, you need the win here.
You cannot lose. You go 2-5. You cannot. So I want to be on the Steelers really bad, but there's just a lot of bad mojo that's telling me to stay away from that game, so I'm going to stay away from it. I'm caught between two.
Okay.
I'm either wanting to bet the Titans plus 9. Probably won't.
Yeah.
Probably won't because that line has gone up, which means that tells me people are betting. The money is coming in on the Bills.
Yeah.
Actually, I can double check where the money's coming in really quick. Whoops. I can tell you right now. Action Network's pretty cool because Action Network it tells you kind of what the breakdown of the money is.
Like live? Like what's currently happening,
Yeah,
or
I think
like
I'm locked out actually though. I don't think I have to get my password together, so I can't do that right now.
Oh, okay.
But I can't.
That makes sense. Like, yeah.
I'm hearing a lot of people I trust tell me this could be a spot where the Bills blow them out, and I'm gonna probably stay away from it, even though everything's telling me you should probably bet the plus 9.
I think the Bills will blow them out.
I'm wanting to take a big favorite this week.
Okay.
I kind of want to take the Commanders -8 against the Panthers.
I don't hate that.
They're at home. They're coming off a loss. Now, it's a physical loss. That's the thing that scares me is okay, are you going to be a little beat up? Maybe the Panthers. I'm not saying I don't think the Panthers are going to win this game, but maybe the Panthers keep it a little close this time. But they are 1-5 against the spread this year. They're getting blown out just all the time. Their defense is bad. I don't think their offense is can their offense put up this Commanders offense? How many points is it going to put up? 30 points minimum. Can this Panthers offense put up 22 points? I don't think so. So I'm going to probably go Commanders -8 here. I'm going to go Commanders -8. It's probably the squarest of the square picks of the week because all the pros are going to be on the Panthers because you're just supposed to be on the Panthers. But, I've already been burned on the Panthers too many times this year, and if you just bet against the Panthers every week, you would be 5-1, like just betting on the Panthers. So I'm gonna bet the Commanders. This is the one that might switch out for me. I'll see kind of where I feel. I want to be on the Vikings-Lions game. I just want to bet that game.
Nah, stay away from that.
But it's so fun.
I mean, what are you doing? Minnesota -2, or would you do Detroit +2?
See, that's why I would go Vikings -2 if Aaron Jones is confirmed as playing. If he's out, I don't see how you don't bet the Lions +2. I mean, I think Aaron Jones is so critical to that offense. We saw what happened when he went out against the Jets. That offense was different. Sam Darnold looked a little different. That offense was different. Like, I would. But the Lions are coming off a big win. Vikings are coming off a bye week. Like, there's a lot of pros and cons on both. If Aaron Jones is playing, I think the Vikings are just, you smash the Vikings. So maybe I'll put the Vikings in instead of the Commanders. But I kind of like the Commanders -8. Like, I think you could look up and it'll be a 14-0 game before we even know what's going on. So those are the bets. So really quick to recap, I got the Packers -2.5. Oh, I also like the Patriots +5.5, but I don't want to bet a rookie in London for the first time. It seems a little scary. All right, I got Packers -2.5. I got the Seahawks +3. I got the Browns +5.5. I got the Commanders -8, and I have the Chiefs +1.5. Christian, do you have a bet for us this week?
Giants +3.
Damn. Yeah, I'm a little scared of that one, but I respect it. The Giants, their injuries are just crazy right now.
Yeah.
Andrew Thomas is out.
Oh, Andrew Thomas is out for the season. Hold on, I forgot. Oh, that's rough. I forgot. Poor Nick.
Yeah.
All right, Rams -6.5.
Damn. Okay.
I was looking for an underdog. I'm like, I don't really like the other. I don't really like the other ones.
You could take the Steelers +2.5 and just continue to double down on your Jets hate. Take your Dolphins +3.
Oh, that's the game I'm missing. Also, I haven't picked that one. I haven't picked the Dolphins Colts game.
Is Joe Flacco playing?
Give me Mike Tomlin underdog. Steelers +2. Well, Russell Wilson. God damn it. I don't think the Colts are that good. But like we're coming off a bye. We're coming off a bye. Yeah, one more week before. No, I don't like it. No, I don't like it. No, I just Rams -6.5. Rams -6.5. No. Sorry, I wanted to give you a little underdog, but
all right, Rams -6.5 for you. All right, bet. Well, we'll lock these in on Friday. I'm pretty confident in my list. I'm thinking about just adding the Titans as my 6th bet, but I really need to stop switching out teams because every time I switch out a team, I end up switching out a winner for a loser, or at the very least, switching out a winner for a winner. So every week I catch myself, I'm just like, I just gotta ride with the 5 I send on Wednesday, and I'll just
gotta send it.
I'll just do it, and instead it's like I get to Wednesday and I'm like, well, we'll see. It's just I gotta stop doing it. So anyway, all right, well, Christian, we've come this far. We have buried week 6. We've talked the news. You've given your vibes. I've given the bets. It's time. Just pick them straight up. Pick the winners straight up. Who's winning week 7? We got a game kicking off tomorrow between the Broncos and the Saints. Sean Payton's homecoming. Drew Brees getting inducted into the Saints Ring of Honor.
Oh,
Big night for all
big
of
night.
the late 2000s New Orleans Saints fans.
They're still around.
Well, that's where they were born. They were all
Oh.
they all started there because everybody was a Saints fan after 2009, and it's like I'm pretty sure you weren't a Saints fan in 2003, my guy. So all these like 20-something-year-old Saints fans have only known success, and they're like, wait, why aren't we good anymore? And it's like, I got bad news for you. You weren't good before them. You were a joke of a franchise, and you had a great Starlight season time. Now you're not. Now you're back to being squalor. Who you got in this game, Christian? The Broncos or the Saints?
Give me the Saints
Whoa,
here.
I'm going Broncos. Damn. Okay.
That's fair. It's a pick'em game. Like it's only by a field goal. Points. I'm not expecting a lot of points. It is going to be interesting. I think Spencer Rattler's getting the start, right?
Yeah, that'll be fun if Spencer Rattler does get the start because you have two rookie quarterbacks.
Yeah. I know the Broncos defense does give me hesitancy, obviously. But the Saints at home, it's going to be interesting. And like Sean Payton returning home, I think it was funny. I think I don't know if it was edited, but I think the Thursday night graphic for this game had
right.
Sean Payton instead of, Patrick Surtain.
They did that on purpose.
Or like Bo Nix, but like I get it why you wouldn't put Bo Nix, but like,
it's the team. He's playing his old team.
I get it. So that is going to be very fun to watch, at least to see how that goes. But yeah, I'll take the Saints. I'm not very confident. I'm not very confident in a lot of these picks. So I don't expect me to go 14 for 14 again.
Time
this
to
week.
Fade Christian this week, everybody. He went 14-0
really
this week. He about to go 3-11 next week.
I think this is going to be not a great week for me. So yeah, I'll take the Saints. I'm not very confident.
I feel good about the Broncos pick. Actually, I think the Saints, they're still banged up.
I don't trust the Broncos.
They're just banged up on the O-line still. Their quarterback's out, and the Broncos have a really good front seven. They're coming off just a tough loss. I know the Saints are too, but the Saints have lost 4 straight at this point, so it's just every week's a loss. So anyway, we get to our Sunday slate of games. We start out 8:30 in the morning, Sunday morning, and across the pond, the Patriots traveling to play the eventual team that will be the London Knights or whatever they'll be, the Jaguars, as we know them today.
Trying to move. Dude, that'd be awful.
They're going to move. They're going to be London's first team. They have to be.
That's going to suck for the AFC South. They're like teams that have to go play them, too. Like
I wonder if they'll do a realignment after that happens.
I mean, it would suck for either. I don't care if you're on the East Coast.
Yeah, it's going to be bad. Like, we're going to have to. In Houston, in the area I covered, there's a company that's working on, like, hyperspeed flight or something. Where like you'll be able to like in the same day go to like Singapore and then fly back later that day and get home. Their slogan, their motto for their company is home in time for dinner. So if we get that, maybe maybe you get the international vibe becomes a lot more reasonable. But as of right now, could you imagine the Seahawks having to play the Chiefs or like the Chargers or like any of those teams on the West Coast having to go play in London? Like that's
imagine like they make the playoffs, like they get home field advantage.
Oh my gosh!
What if they get like the number 1 seed one year? And
you would have maybe the best home field advantage in the league. Just because of the travel, like
you would have to leave early. Your team, like, it'd be crazy. Anyway, I'm gonna pick the Patriots here. No faith, really. No faith in either of these teams.
I want Patriots as well. No faith either. And again, that first rookie start in London is giving me bad vibes, but I'm
It
going to ride
is.
with it. I'm going to pick it.
Defense is bad, and Trevor Lawrence is.
I'm kind of rooting for it. I want Doug Peterson to be relieved of his pain.
I mean, at
I
this
want the
point,
sweet release for him.
he needs it. So Patriots go out there and get that win there.
All right, Seahawks at Falcons. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with the Seahawks for the upset. I picked them as one of my bets. I'm going
You
with
talked
them for
me
the
into
upset.
it because I first picked the Falcons, but you talked me into it, and I changed my bet. I changed my pick to the Seahawks. I'm like, okay, they're coming off extended. They're coming off. Did they come off a bye or
The
mini
Seahawks are
bye?
coming off mini bye. They played on
Mini
Thursday
bye.
against the 49ers.
Mini bye. Falcons. I think it's time. I think they've been riding a little too high. They might be feeling themselves a little bit. I think this is a spot for them to get let down.
I agree. All right, how about Titans at Bills? I mean,
Bills.
I'm going Bills.
Yeah. Will Levis he's gonna throw a pick or a fumble or do something.
All right, how about
Buffalo, I
Bengals?
think, is gonna roll.
Oh my bad. Yeah, no, I don't know if they'll roll. I really am thinking about putting the Titans in. I don't want them to roll, but I think they'll win. Regardless, I don't see an upset here.
Well, 9 points is technically 2 possessions, right?
Yep, it is. But
Yeah,
this is
what do you consider a blowout?
20 points is a blowout.
Okay.
Or some people might just say 3 possessions. So 17 points could be a blowout. But I consider 20. You get beat by 20 points, that's an official blowout. 34-14 blowout. 34-17 on the edge. All right. Bengals and Browns. Bengals traveling to the Browns. 2-4, 1-5. Browns win this. They have the same record as the Bengals. I am...
You gonna do it?
I'm thinking about it.
You gonna do it?
I'm thinking about it.
Say it.
I'll go Bengals. I think it'll be a close one, but I think they finally get their long-awaited revenge on the Browns that they've wanted for years.
I think they won their last game.
Oh, did they? Browns, Bengals history. We can go look it up. This is a really historic rivalry, though.
Oh wait, this was that during the playoffs?
So the last time, okay, well, so the Bengals
won 31-14. January the 7th.
So the Browns, the Bengals won last time. That was the end of the season. Like that was no team was playing for anything. Yeah. The Browns won before that. The Bengals won before that, and the Browns won before that. So So I like the Bengals here. I'll take the Bengals, but
they do struggle.
I do think this will be close.
Oh yeah, no, this is no blowout. I think Cincinnati's going to struggle offensively, but I'm going to give the slight edge to the Bengals. This is one of those ones where I was like, I wanted to pick the Browns. Then I looked at their history, and I'm like, okay, they got some wins here and there, but I just don't trust Deshaun, man. I know the Bengals defense sucks, but can you get some pressure? You should be able to get him down. His offensive line is really, really banged up. Like, get some pressure on him, and then you should at least you'll be able to have that too. I mean, you should be able to put them in, third and third and longs to be uncomfortable, which I wouldn't trust. With Deshaun back there, I wouldn't trust that they can pick it up. So I'll give the slight edge to Cincinnati, but I think it's still going to be like not a 17-7, but it'll still be like a struggle bus, like 20-17. Yeah, 20-17, something like that.
I like that. All right, Packers and Texans. I gotta say, this is obviously this is kind of, in my opinion, one of the 3 kind of marquee games of the week.
Yeah,
I mean, you could include the Ravens Bucks. That's pretty interesting, but
that's on a Monday, so
yeah,
that has its own spot.
Packers Texans. I mean, it really does feel like to me, whoever wins this game, we're gonna come out of this game and be just like, oh man, yeah, this is the team. This is one of those teams. And whoever loses, like, I mean, I think both these teams are respectable. I think they'll continue to get respect, but
Yeah.
I like the Packers here at home. Again, Texans back-to-back road games, coming off a big win, and now you're going to play a much tougher team. I know
Yeah,
Joe
it's ain't gonna be
Mixon.
easy.
Joe Mixon, he's a great addition to this team, and that does scare me a little bit. But I think the Packers will do enough to hold off the Texans at home. So give me the Packers.
Yeah, I think this will be the game where that I think this will be like the game for the Texans. Where we will see them struggle in on the road. Yeah, the Packers are a very good team. So yeah, give me the Pack Nation.
All right, we'll do your team next. How about Colts and Dolphins? Off the rip, Christian.
I haven't picked this team. I
I'm gonna
haven't picked
take the
this game.
Colts. I'm gonna take the
That's
Colts.
fair. I haven't. It's been.
Anthony Richardson might be starting, and I know that's supposed to give everybody a little bit of pause, and it does give me a little pause. But I just, I just don't have any faith in the Dolphins right now.
I don't either, but like what what uh gives me pause is like we just had a bye. Like what
You
like I would
should, you should come
we
in
should
and
come here and win this game, but I don't know. So get give me the Dolphins, but no confidence.
no
Um
confidence.
if we lose to the Colts, I will be very very depressed. If we
Yeah, you'd be what 2-5 at that point. Two and
two and
four.
four. Tua would be coming back
Well,
next week.
he's eligible to come back next
Eligible.
week.
From what I have seen, I haven't seen any conflicting reports, but I've seen like he should be. He should be back the
Okay.
very next week, but I don't know. But like you said, yeah, it's um he'll be eligible. I don't know if he would be actually be cleared to play. So
Fair. All right. Another marquee game. Cannot wait for this game.
yeah,
Lions Vikings. Gonna
if the
be.
Dolphins Colts wasn't playing, if the Dolphins weren't playing, I'd be.
Oh,
This would probably be the game I'd be watching.
it'll be great because the Packers Texans will be on the TV at my in laws' house because
Uh-huh.
they watch the Texans game every week, and I'm gonna have this game on my phone. Just
Yeah,
watching it on my phone. I might not even turn on Red Zone. I might just watch this game, or at least in a quad box or something. So, yeah. Again, I already kind of gave my conflicting thoughts on this. I really do. If Aaron Jones is playing, I'm gonna I'm gonna go Vikings. I'm gonna go Vikings. I don't know if I'm allowed to caveat it. We don't usually allow caveats here. We usually are like, you got to make your pick. Um, I will. It's just so insane to think that the Vikings are going to be 6-0. Like, does this not feel like a game where like the Lions kind of beat their ass, and you're like, okay, let's temper our expectations on the Vikings a little bit.
I don't know if it'll be twice. I don't know if they'll do that two games in a row, but I'm going Vikings here, which it's a little crazy to say. But I think the loss with Aiden Hutchinson is going to be a bit rough for them. I think Kevin O'Connell and the game plan, probably had a sigh of relief. I know it tragic. He probably wasn't like, oh my God, thank God he got hurt, but they're probably thankful he's not playing. So that'll be a little bit easier on that offense. But I'm going to go Vikings. It's going to be really interesting to see how the defense shows up against the Lions. It's going to be see how they attack the Lions there. You got to play smash mouth. So you got to hit, and got to stop them early, and put the game in the Jared Goff's hands. But yeah, I'll take the Vikings. Very not confident.
I just, I, I truly believe the Lions are the better team, and
That is completely fair.
the
Like,
only reason I wouldn't pick the Lions is A, they're on the road, back-to-back road games. That sucks. But also B, I mean, they had to have emotionally emptied the tank last week. right? Like you're going into Dallas.
Well, they
You
were just
hate this
clowning.
team.
They were just clowning on
Well, but
Dallas.
like they went in. They clearly went into that game
Yeah, they'd be
on a
like,
mission,
yeah.
and they accomplished it. And I mean, they accomplished it in a big way, and they lost their best player in the process. Like, and now you got to go on the road,
Division opponent.
play a division opponent who has been just as good as you this year, if not better. They've been better than you this year, and they're coming off a bye. Like, everything tells me just on paper I should pick the Lions, but everything else, just the spot, the context, it's telling me you got to pick the Vikings. And I don't do things on paper.
You know,
I don't do things on paper. I do things in a practical sense.
I've never seen a piece of paper in that
I've
man's
never
hand
had
whatsoever.
a piece of paper. I've never had one. I'm illiterate. I'm gonna go Vikings. I'm gonna change. I had Lions. I'm gonna go Vikings.
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah, I'm going Vikings.
Okay.
I just, on paper, I think the Lions are gonna win, but in the practical reality of playing the game, I think the Vikings are supposed to win this game.
Okay.
So I like the Vikings. All right. Eagles, Giants. Giants at home against the Eagles. Both these teams are garbage, in my opinion. One team, the Eagles are, it's tears. Like, I don't think the Eagles are as bad as the Giants, but I have to go the Eagles here. I really did want to be on the Giants earlier this week, but Andrew Thomas being out, Dexter Lawrence is banged up, Kayvon Thibodeau is banged up, Brian Burns was missing practice. I think Malik Neighbors is supposed to come back, but I just have no. The injuries to the Giants are just too much. I'm gonna be rooting like crazy for the Giants. Don't get me wrong, and I'll be happy to come in and say I was wrong about picking the Eagles this week. But I just think the Giants are dealing with too many hurdles against an Eagles team that is not good, but they're at least healthy, and they are better talent-wise than the Giants.
I originally had the Giants, but then you reminded me of Andrew Thomas getting injured. So and all the other injuries that they're suffering through. Yeah. So I picked the Eagles. I did want to. I was ready for the Giants. I was like, oh, Giants upset, baby, let's go.
Same. Beginning of the week, before when I was looking at the early look at headlines before Sunday Night Football, I was like, I really hope the Bengals blow out the Giants. Because if the Bengals blow out the Giants, that was going to make the Browns get more points against them the next week, which I knew I wanted to be on the Browns. And that was going to make the Giants bigger underdogs against the Eagles, and I knew I wanted to be on the Giants. So, and of course I had the Bengals as a -3.5 for the bets this last week. So, it didn't happen, but I still wanted to be on the Giants. I still loved the points and the value. That value is gone. The injuries are too much for me. So I'll go Eagles. And I'm sure the Eagles will win some 17-14 game, and
yeah,
it'll be terrible, and their fans will be like, "What do you want from us? We're winning games." Like, yeah, okay, sure. All right, how about Rams and Raiders? You made it pretty clear your pick on this with your bet. I'm gonna go Rams as well. Sean McVay off a bye. Rams getting a little healthier. The Raiders just seem lost to me right now, and now you're going on the road and playing a team that off bye weeks is really good. So, yeah, give me the Rams. Commanders, Panthers. Give me the Commanders.
Yeah,
I just Commanders at home playing a bad Panthers team. I'm not even saying it'll be a blowout. I don't know how the Panthers are going to keep up with the Commanders unless Jaden Daniels is about to come in here and just have a meltdown.
I don't see it. He is at home.
Yeah, and they're coming off a loss, so this is definitely kind of a get back to it kind of spot for them, I think. All right, Chiefs 49ers.
Going Solo Chiefs. Fox Sports.
America's game of the week.
I mean, it should be. Yeah,
it should be. It's Super Bowl match.
I'll be watching the Dolphins Colts game and in the noon, and then that afternoon I will be watching this game solely. Yeah. I mean, dude, it's crazy to think the Chiefs are gonna be 6-0, especially just the way how they've played. Patrick Mahomes been playing, but Andy Reid off the bye. Now, it is cool. 49ers did come off a mini bye, so great schedule making there, NFL. But give me the Chiefs. Like,
Yeah.
like they might, like the 49ers could, like, win this game. Don't get me
They're
wrong.
due. I mean, they're due for it. They've lost 4 straight to Patrick Mahomes.
So, but they do what they do, man. Like, they'll score in their first like 3 drives or whatever, and then they'll kind of cruise control up until like the late third and then the fourth, and it'll be a 1 possession game late in the game, and Patrick Mahomes gonna get the ball, and then he gonna make something happen.
And Spags is gonna make just life hell for Brock Purdy because that's what he's been doing. So I think I know we talk about the 49ers like they're gonna be. I think they'll end up being really good. Like they do, they just start out slow a lot of the time. But I think they're suffering from 2 things. They're suffering from a lot of just miscues on special teams. Their special teams is a mess. I mean, they've lost 2 games this year just because of special teams. Lost it to the Rams and then lost it to the Cardinals because their kicker got hurt, and also Christian McCaffrey being out. I think there's a reason they're.
Nick Mason got hurt too.
Oh, Jordan Mason got hurt? Yeah.
Jordan Mason.
I mean, but I think Christian McCaffrey, like, and this is the way I've heard it described. Like, I thought this was a really good point. I can't remember who said it, but basically, Christian McCaffrey, you get into the end of the game when you're up by 2 possessions, you run the ball. You run the ball, Christian McCaffrey, and they can't do that. So they're more liable to give up big leads, or B, those long drives, you're not punching it in for touchdowns because you don't have Christian McCaffrey and you're having to settle for field goals. And over time, over the course of a game, you settle for 2 field goals instead of touchdowns. That's an 8-point difference. Like, so Christian, I think this team has not fully figured out how to function at a high level without Christian McCaffrey, at least not the level we're used to seeing. So I like the Chiefs here, even with all the injuries. I just trust Mahomes and Reid off a bye. Like, I'm not going to bet against that. Come on. All right, Sunday night. Woo! How about Steelers-Jets?
Let me just make sure, because I think I know who I picked. Yeah. Shocker. Steelers.
I'm also going Steelers. I'm not saying to put money on it, but I'll go Steelers. And then we get into our 2 Monday night games.
Yeah, back returning.
Ravens, Bucks. A sneaky good game. I'm pretty excited for this game, actually. This is going to be a pretty good game.
Yeah, I like this one more than the second one. But give me the Ravens. Lamar versus NFC teams. Baker has played it. Okay. I mean, Baker is familiar with Lamar and that Ravens team.
They came out in the same draft class, and we're in the division for a while. But, like, that doesn't mean the defense is familiar with
I was going to say, the defense isn't familiar with Lamar. So that's going to be, hell for them. And, Derrick Henry is going to be a problem. And then for the Chargers, Cardinals, give me the Chargers.
I'm taking Chargers as well. I went back and forth on this one. Cardinals at home, this feels like a good spot to pick them, but I know what I get from the Chargers. I know what I'm going to get from them. They're going to run the ball. They're going to play efficient. They're going to play just smart defense, and they're going to try to win these games 20 to 17 every week. They're just going to 20-17. I don't care. I'm just trying to win the game, and I respect it.
They haven't scored 30 this year.
But yet they're 4-2. Like they're really good.
3-2.
Oh yeah, they had a bye. Yeah, my bad. They're 3-2. Thanks. All right, those are your games. That's your slate. 2 teams on a bye this week: the Bears and the Cowboys. So,
you need it. Cowboys need it.
The Bears, when they come back, they'll play the Commanders. Pumped for that game. Absolutely excited for that game. That'll be a must-watch game. And then the Cowboys will play on Sunday night the 49ers. So we'll see how that goes. So.
You don't need it. Damn, tickets $200. To that game. Oh, it's in Santa Clara. I thought it was in Dallas.
It is. Okay, that's what I thought. I thought it was in Santa Clara. All right, cool. All right, everybody. Well, take it easy. We love you. Thanks for
Yep.
rocking with us, and we'll let you know how everything went. I hope your team plays well this week. I can say that because you're not playing my team because my team's on a bye. So I hope your team does well. I hope we get some good
Isn't
football.
that great when your team's not doing well? You're just like, thank God, I don't have to watch.
We need a break. Just everybody take a breath. Everybody like this. I feel like this is you don't love to go into your bye week off a blowout, but like.
Yeah,
it's a good time to go on a bye week and like hey,
Jerry over here
soul search.
threatening to end people's careers.
Sean and RJ, like that's a staple. Like Sean and RJ have literally, Sean and RJ have been the morning show for 105.3 The Fan since. I mean, dude, it's been at least 12 years. It's been a long time. Like I was in high school when they started there as the morning show, and he's out here just openly threatening to end their lives on 105 through the Fan. That's craziness. It's insane.
But like, didn't earlier this year he was like, "Yeah, put the blame on me."
Yeah, I mean it's dumb. Like he's clearly just not coping well because. There's no excuse. Like
There is none.
You didn't do anything this offseason. You rolled the dice on. Well, we got guys that are sitting in our coffers, sitting on our bench that didn't play a lot last year, that we're confident are going to step into their roles and they're going to look really good. And it's not happening. You gambled on the talent you already had on the roster, and it's not paying off.
And then you went the whole offseason like, oh, are we gonna let Dak? Are we just gonna let Dak?
Yeah, I mean that's
play out the season, and then you ended up signing him.
I mean,
it's like
you could have signed Dak, opened up some salary cap space for yourself if you were going to do this anyway. You could have signed CeeDee Lamb. Everybody knows. Everybody who's listening knows this. Like these are well-known facts. The Cowboys, in so many different ways, shot themselves in the foot this offseason. And now Jerry Jones wants to get mad at people for going, hey, dude, you shot yourself in the foot this offseason. Like, sorry, dude, you messed up. That's on you.
That's
so. Anyway. Yeah. All right, well, everybody take it easy. We love you. Be back either Sunday or Monday to recap Week 7. And, we'll give our final bets and everything on Friday. We'll post it on YouTube. So
Week 8.
Take it easy. Yeah, we'll be in Week 8. And
damn.
Week 9 is the halfway point.
Week 9 is the halfway
18-week season.
Damn.
So, yeah, Thanksgiving's going to be here before you know it. Thanksgiving's about a month away, so it goes quick.
Yeah.
So, all right, everybody, take it easy.
Peace.